So about 3 years ago, I was a little bored and I started thinking about things I can do to my Chevy Equinox. And I thought, well, I could upgrade the brakes and try to put Cadillac brakes on there. The factory calipers only had a single piston, and the Cadillac SRX had a dual piston setup. So I started looking into whether or not I could actually put those calipers on the Equinox. Turns out the calipers and the caliper brackets do mount up. The only problem is you can't buy the SRX rotor because it has 6 lugs and the Equinox has 5. So doing some research, I found that the Cadillac CTS actually has 5 lugs, and if you buy the rotor, you need to make sure you get the brake code J55 rotor, and that's the correct diameter. So here in this video that I posted about 3 years ago, I go through the mock-up of how to install it all. The only thing that I left out was the brake line. So I did find that the Cadillac SRX brake line will work for this setup. Without further ado, I'll go ahead and get into the video. I just wanted to give you a little information up front. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. There will be links to everything that I used and tools that might make your job a little easier. Alright, well, I'm going to get the new rotor and the new caliper mounted in place, and then I'm going to double check the length of the brake lines. I ended up buying the brake lines for SRX, and hopefully they're long enough and we can do this. Heck yeah, I think it's going to work. Alright. Well, I think we're in good shape. Just kind of show you, this is what the setup's going to look like once it's all installed. So now I just have to get the old caliper and stuff out of the way. I'll get a drain pan under there so I can catch the brake fluid as it comes out. Alright, here we're a little further down the road. I've went ahead and loaded the calipers. So we got brake pads, got our hardware on. Obviously the caliper bracket, the caliper. I've already attached the brake hose, and on the Cadillac, when I checked them out at the junkyard, it wasn't routed like this with the clips on it. It did just go from the bottom of the brake caliper and just straight up to here. So I think we're in good shape. I will go ahead and disconnect all, or unhook these clips, separate the speed sensor wire from the hose, and then we'll work on the actual brake line connection. Alright, I don't have a line wrench, but this is 1/2 inch. I'm going to try and break it loose. Okay, it looks like we're fully loose here. I do have some vacuum caps that I'm gonna try to use to stop the flow of fluid once I get this completely backed off. So we should be about there now. Hopefully that'll keep fluid from flowing, and now we'll pull the retainer clip out, and then that should this should come out, I think. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to clean up that bracket. Looks like it's gotten gunked up. Yeah, fits perfect. Put our clip back that we just had. Alright, we can take this cap off. Well, now it's time to start bleeding. Alright, so I'll do my best to capture this. If not, there's probably 1,000 videos out there on how to do this, but we're going to try to pull vacuum, do this bleeding on our own. And I will go ahead, I'll put a link in the description to this setup. One thing that I learned the hard way is you need to have some fluid in the reservoir or in this catch can in order for this to work easily. And I'm not sure if you can see the fluid in the lines right here, but that was all gravity. I haven't done anything. So I've got some vacuum on the line. I'm gonna break the bleeder. One thing that we want to do also is we want to make sure that the fluid doesn't go empty in the reservoir up at the top. So I'm going to go check that and make sure we're good to go there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get the caliper ready. I'm going to go ahead and load it. I'll show you doing that. And then we'll go ahead and get it mounted up here. And then we'll work on getting this old one out of the way. Right, now it's time to bleed the system, and I'm just gonna run through this real quick on my own. We'll catch you when we're done with bleeding the system. Alright, so we'll do a quick rundown here. So we've got the bigger rotor mounted, we've got the 2 piston caliper mounted, it's loaded as well. Right here you can see that I retained one of the 3 clips that came from the Equinox, and this hose right here, that's the SRX hose, and I verified that the clearance is good. So this is the setup. It's all done, good to go. This CV axle is actually leaking, so I'm gonna have to replace the CV axle or the boot. Most likely I'll just replace the entire CV axle. But yeah, this is it after it's been installed, and I'll have links for everything in the description below. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and I'd be glad to hear your feedback, whether you think this is a good idea, bad idea, or anything in between. But thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll check out some of the other videos on this Equinox.